I've been in your words.
This video is sponsored by Vick Offroad. We've all been there before when you're out bush, camping away, and you can't find something. Everyone's gone through it, and it's because it's not quite as organised in your vehicle as you want it to be. The solution is just dead set obvious, but we don't always look at these things like it's a solution. We sometimes look at these things like they're just a bit of a gimmick. When I was in the army, I was a DNS instructor, a driving and servicing instructor for M113A1s. In those vehicles, storage is really tight. You had yourself, you had your driver, and you had up to 9 guys in the back. And in those vehicles, every single part of that vehicle had something in it. Everything had its place and everything had something in it. And every single vehicle was exactly the same. Your SOP, your standard operating procedure, suggested or dictated that this went there, that went there. And when you moved from your vehicle and went to crew another vehicle, you knew exactly where everything was. And that's the way I've approached storage in this. The guys over at Vic Offroad reached out to me and asked me if I'd like to review these bags, and it was perfect timing because I was at a point with these drawers, which are fantastic. I wanted something a little bit more to keep things organised. And what they did, they sent me these San Hima canvas bags. And I've got to tell you, they're bloody awesome. 2 different sorts of bags they sent. Both of them are made with the same sort of material. This one here is 40 centimetres long, 16 high, 20 wide. And the other bag that they sent is this one here, which is 16 high, 40 by 40 as well. And I can say this with hand on heart, I've been looking for these sorts of bags since I started fitting out the vehicle, and I found that canvas bags are expensive. Sure, you can get cheaper bags than this. In fact, these ones here, the 40 by 40 centimetres one, a packet of 3 of these will cost you about 130 bucks. They're about 40 bucks a pop. And you're probably going to find some cheaper than what these are. Not by much though, but I guarantee you the quality that's in this, and I'll show you that in a second, is worth more than what you're paying for these. You're getting these at a ridiculous price. I'll show you what they're like. Open him up. Inside of each one of these is exactly the same. This is, what's it, 600D Oxford canvas, which isn't waterproof. It is water resistant, it's scratch resistant and all the rest of it. It's very heavy duty canvas. This is usually a more expensive sort of canvas. 540 is, or 450 I should say, is roughly where the less expensive ones are. So at 600, this is pretty good. So all of them come flat packed with this, but at the end of the day, this thing is rigid. Like, it's proper rigid. So when it comes, like I said, it's flat, and you're going to get these dividers and this divider in there. You're also going to get the base, which comes out, which will make all of this here collapsible. So that will go down to nothing when you want to store it away if you're not using it. The base here is hard. It's probably like a hard plastic or something inside there. That's what it kind of feels like. We'll put that in the base. Now inside the bags is Velcro, and we'll set this Velcro up onto each one of these walls here. So you can divide it any way you want to. You can put them in half like this, and this will go to the other side. So you split the box into half. You can go into quarters like the other one down under here. Also inside the lid, as you look at it, are these pockets that you could put smaller things into. Now this is the only bag I've seen like that. Keep in mind, this is 40 bucks. So what's the pros and cons of having this sort of a bag? The smaller bags break down the same way. The bottom piece there is to keep it all nice and rigid for you, and this will all go nice and flat, and you can store it wherever you want if you're not using it at the time. When you put this in there, first, these things are rigidity Tonka tough. That is really strong canvas, and the way these things are built, it is pretty impressive. I've got some stuff done by an upholsterer with some canvas stuff, and it was a really good job. And what I'm seeing here is really no different. All the stitches that are on here are cross stitch. They go the whole length, and these things are apparently meant to take 20 kilos. And I'll believe that actually. Inside the handles on the large one, there's rubber sort of insert in there to give it more strength. On the bottom of these, they've got these anti-slip points over here. So when I've got it sitting up on top there, it doesn't move anywhere when I've got weight in it. I'm actually using one of these as my tool bag. That's full of tools. And it's been rolling around in there for the last week or so, however long I've had these for. And it's nice and quiet. The tools aren't knocking through the side of it. I've got knives and screwdrivers and everything in that. And it works quite well. Underneath this again, this is what I really like about this, is these things, anti-slip pads if you like. So I've got that sitting on the wing of the drawers and it doesn't move anywhere. Let's talk about some pros and cons of these. Cons, these are made in China. I struggled with that a little bit when they first asked me to review these. And then I went, well, you know what? I'm looking for bags, let's try them anyway. And I'm glad that I did. My 30-second awning is made in China. It's a fantastic awning. A lot of people have this. This San Hima brand is a Chinese brand. This canvas is top notch. The way this thing is put together, it's really hardcore. I'm really impressed with it. But don't be put off by the Chinese manufactured bit there. These things are really, really well built. I'm not a huge fan of the decal on the front here, but after all, they're going to go in a drawer, so it doesn't matter. What I care about is reliability and practicality, and this has both in spades. Another con that I see on some other people's videos is that they don't have a clear top. I've never quite understood that. You hear people saying about it needs to have a clear top so you can see what's in it. Well, one, it's got these little postage card size things, I guess, that you could write on there and say what's in it. That's one way around it. The other way around it is that how many of these bloody things you're going to put in your car? You might have 4, maybe 5, maybe. But like seriously, like this one here, it lives right there. So when I open up this bag, when I open up this drawer here, I know what's going to be in there because I put it there. That's where it lives. It's got its own point. It's just like what I said in the beginning. Everything in the vehicle has its place and every place has something in it. So if you really need to have a clear top on these things to know what's going on, there's probably something else going on because you don't need it. You really don't. The rigidity is kind of important because once it's in these drawers, if you've taken one out, nothing all falls everywhere like it does with the ones that aren't rigid. It'll stay there nice and square and leave a slot there for you. So 40 by 40, 20 by 40, it's going to fit in most drawers that are out there right now. The thing I like about these is that the colour of them, this kind of sandy olive colour, it fits with my skin. Just by pure luck, it's the same colour as my snake bite kit up there. Full disclosure, before I even started this channel, I was buying from Vick Offroad. It's just lucky, I guess, that they asked me to do this. And one thing that I noticed when you do buy from Vick Offroad, you get this little card. Everything I've bought from them comes with this little card. I'm not saying everything has this, but everything I've bought has come with this card. And you basically go ahead and register, and next thing you get, I think it's about 15% off. So definitely go and check it out, Vick Offroad. Along with these bags come all the benefits of having bags. You can take these into your house, load them up, bring them out. Like I said, it's going to take 20 kilos. Put them in your vehicle. You're not running to and from the house all the time. It's not that big a deal. I'm not going to tell you to suck eggs. You know how to use the bags. But the quality of these, ripper. The price of these, even better. All right, guys, that's it for today. See you next week.